There's a group of fireworks hotshots who call themselves GFA Pyro.
In this business, you need to take some risk.
Let's go! I get to blow stuff out for fun.
They're a small company. To be number one, they're going to have to blow away the competition.
Man, this is insane.
One explosion at a time. This time on Pyros.
Watch for snakes.
The boys storm the Congo.
A lot of people that doesn't know about fireworks.
You haven't been to Congo before. They want fireworks. I'm not going to jail.
And fight to fire a show. While all hell breaks loose around them.
Oh. Get insanity!
It's a place he vowed he'd never return to. Yet Canadian pyrotech Philippe Girard is about to land once again in Africa's Congo.
Going to Congo, anything can happen, like a sudden riot and all kinds of political agitation. Yeah, my last trip to the Congo was not fun at all. Ended up being robbed and attacked, and hopefully this won't happen again.
The Republic of Congo is a violent place where coups, civil war, and ethnic fighting have killed millions.
A lot of people think I'm crazy just going there, but I like it.
Philippe is here to help fire a big show for Independence Day. Backing him up, his older brother, Mathieu.
We just arrived now. Finally.
They only teamed up once last year, back home in Quebec. And this gig is a lot different. So are the brothers.
My brother was born with something I was born without. It's called patience.
I'm happy to work with my bro because I can just kick his ass, you know?
I don't get much chances to work with him, so I was really pleased to travel with him. It's really rare, it's really, it's unique.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
For this job, Philippe and Mathieu are teaming up with South African pyro master Nick Mitri.
Come guys, hurry up. You too.
Been working him in Africa for 17 years, doing thousands of shows, and every time he's traveling, it's always the same thing. It never goes according to the plan.
It's like the Titanic, you know?
When you're working in Africa, you must expect the unexpected.
Nick's client is Mr. Jean El Haj, a Lebanese contractor who's tight with Congo's president and the military.
Small guy, 5 feet 1 or 2, but really with a hand about the double of mine, you know, like just out.
Mr. El Haj has the clout to bypass airport customs.
The customs were there. We had the client waving, hey, come that way. We just went another door, side door.
We're in good hand, I think.
The adventure begins.
This is how we do it in Congo now. Security issues, I guess.
Driving through Congo's capital, it's obvious that life here can be short and nasty.
This is really, really crazy.
A few months ago, a series of blasts ripped this whole neighborhood apart. When a stockpile of munitions blew up in a fire.
There was a big explosion. The entire military base exploded.
I think it's 200 people died on that explosion.
Thousands of people still have no homes.
How can you expect this to be normal, to have a military bases in the middle of a city with a deposit of military explosives?
C'est tout détruit, hein? It's all destroyed.
Look at this. How can you live in there, man?
I felt really sad.
Kind of a war zone.
This is insane.
Turns out that Nick's imported pyro was stored at the same warehouse and went up in the explosion too.
Nick, he had to rush to send another container from China to Congo. So all the material is loose. It's not prepped, no label, no nothing.
We're literally going to arrive in Congo, open the doors of the container, and start from scratch.
Congo broke from France over 50 years ago, but Independence Day is still a big deal here. And the pressure is on Nick and his team to deliver a wicked fireworks show.
The celebrations weren't in Brazzaville, in fact. They were in a town 70 kilometers away, which was called Kinkala.
Problem is, even with Nick's helpers, Zane and Jared, there are only 5 trained pyros on this huge job.
Think you can't work it?
Moi, c'est Mathieu.
The others, soldiers and a few locals, are reluctant recruits. They know zip about pyro.
6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we got 10 guys.
Comment ça va? Ça va bien. Moi, c'est Mathieu. Moi, c'est Boris. Boris, je me souviens de
The main interest to go in Congo to do a fireworks show is to meet people, to be with people, to work with people. Hey, I'm Matthew, yeah.
Philippe, on the other hand, is all business.
Easy. Where are we gonna prep? We prep near Matt? You know, my brother has more patience than I have. My fuse is really, really short, and everybody knows it. Do we have any table, though?
No.
They're off to a rough start.
We arrive in Congo, expecting this container with a lock on the door. We get on site, there's no container. There's boxes of fireworks with a plastic top in the middle of the open.
This has been
Nice.
standing like this for how long, Nick?
Well, probably a week. It's been here for a week.
What?
Philippe and Matt, their eyes just go big like, what the hell? And I'm like, well, you know, TIA, man, this is Africa.
Be careful of snakes, guys.
Yes. Watch for snakes.
They like kind of tend to slide in amongst the boxes in the tubes. And what happens is you like pulling it out. You don't see the snake, bites you on your hand.
You die.
Not a pleasant experience, yeah. You don't want to get bitten. I mean, there's not a hospital anywhere around here, so.
Alors, les 6, on va les garder de ce côté-ci.
Jean had arranged to dig a whole bunch of trenches, which is brilliant.
We still had to bury almost 1,700 tube by hands, and the dirt was really hard. So it was a big task.
The ground there was terribly difficult to work with. It was really hard and rocky. This kind of clay chunks. So it was a bit of a dog's breakfast on the site. Not really the way we like to work, but you've got to get the job done. Everybody's going to see the show from everywhere. This whole area is going to be covered in people.
And one will be Congo's president, watching from his nearby compound.
This whole pile.
It's going to be tough enough to pull off this show. But then their client, Mr. El Haj, the man who's tight with the president, charges in with a new demand, one that could push them over the edge.
We started freaking out. What do we do? This is madness.
It's the biggest party of the year. The whole country of Congo is celebrating Independence Day and expecting a huge show.
It's a big thing about independence, and celebration of independence is a big deal in Congo. It's gonna rock and roll.
Outside Kinkala, Philippe and Mathieu, the Pyro brothers from Canada, are scrambling to help South African pyro master Nick Mitri. They have just 3 days to set up 1,700 bombs. And now their client, Mr. Jean El Haj, the guy close to the president, wants even more.
John, obviously he's under pressure because, you know, he sold the show to all these dignitaries and everyone who knows everybody's going to be there, and he's got to look good.
Because the government gives him a lot of contract, you know, a lot of work.
He wants the president to hear his thank you, loud and clear.
I know that you are more crazy than me, but please, make something that's in color. They don't forget it.
Okay.
Huh? Everything big.
We're gonna put everything big. Jean El-Haj is a character. So name is put more bombs. Oh, is it big enough? Nicky, put more. You're crazy.
It's gonna be big, don't worry.
Good.
Yeah, we have 68 inch. 60.
Only? I'm gonna bring you more.
60 is a lot.
You think it's a lot?
I think it's a lot.
I think the...
You have some tubes hidden somewhere?
Maybe that's if it's 600, this is a lot. 60, I think 60 for me, that's nothing, man.
Nick is forced to add 200 more bombs to the already ambitious plan.
We'll have to be put on the back. Okay?
Bombs he has no time to set up.
Nick is a strong-minded guy, but he hardly can say no to Jean. So I think Jean knows it, and he won on that one.
Big finale.
Just pull the finale. I mean, we have the guns, so let's use them, you know?
Okay.
200 more bombs means 200 more mortar tubes. Means more work for a crew ready to mutiny.
Okay, this is in place. On continue.
Mathieu tries to motivate his unmotivated troops.
There's a lot of people that doesn't know about fireworks. So I think Mathieu's gonna have most of the challenge today. Dealing all those guys would have been a mission. So I just jump on the easy work and I give the work to my brother.
Here in Congo, there's no escaping the military presence
These things are beastly.
or the pressure to do this job right.
Okay, we're gonna start matching bombs or we playing games? Our first line of 4 inches, yeah?
Yeah.
On most shows, bombs arrive at the firing site pre-wired into chains ready to be loaded into mortars. But not on this job.
We had only loose shells in boxes by color and by caliber. So we had to attach shells together so we could put one igniter for 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 shells.
So on this job, they've got to bundle the loose shells together by their fuses and then put in an igniter. Each igniter triggers a string of fireworks. Nick's modules will fire 100 igniters each, which is hard when your module only has 10 lines.
Firing system. This is one of our modules.
Nick has a quick fix.
And basically this is a 10-way module. And if we want to add extra lines, which you do for this show, we just basically take a matrix board, which has 100 lines on it. We clip it in, and it becomes 100. This is module 3 for the show, so this is going to be lines 201 to 300. Very simple.
6 modules will launch 1,900 bombs, and each bomb has to be wired to its line by hand.
We're going 3 up, red to green, so we're 3 up on this line.
By late morning, they've barely made a dent. And the mortar tubes aren't even in place yet.
On va juste comme les pré-placer. Après ça, Juvite va passer en arrière puis il va continuer. OK, go.
Je vais prendre l'appel une seconde.
You know, I see him working and like 10 guys standing doing nothing. And I see you doing all the work. So don't tie yourself up. I mean, there's 10 guys standing there holding their balls.
Yeah.
Tell them to bring the tubes. You say,
Okay.
put 3 in the ground. You
Okay.
put 3 in the ground. Jared, you got to get these acts to work and take a load off Matt's
OK.
shoulders.
5, le tube.
Okay, Matt, you happy with that? Okay.
Attendez, j'en prends 3 avec moi.
Mathieu tries to fire up his apathetic crew,
OK, un dernier.
but his enthusiasm isn't working.
There's a lot of people just looking.
He's got one last move,
Whoa.
but he needs his brother's help with an old Quebecois song.
OK. Par un beau dimanche au soir, m'en allant veiller.
Un beau dimanche au soir, m'en allant veiller.
J'ai rencontré la belle jeune
J'y ai demandé ton den lariden, matapatali matou, matatalou malimatou, matapatali matou, matatalou laride.
When you see the energy coming down, you say, all right, let's go for a song.
Donden lariden. Donden lariden. Matapatali matou. Matapatali matou. Donden lariden, matapatali matou. Donden lariden, matapatali matou.
He started singing some kind of French song,
Donden lariden, matapatali matou.
and the work rate went from here. It suddenly went here. It was brilliant.
Non, non, répondit-elle. Pas avec un militaire. Pas avec un militaire.
I need bombs.
It's a full 3 hours past lunchtime, but there's been no lunch.
The client forgot us. You know, I'm so angry, man. Chewing my string.
Tired, hungry. We've been promised food and nothing's come.
Gonna start wrapping up for the day. It's like 3:30. The food hasn't arrived. We're pretty tired, we're pretty hungry. Kind of at the stage of the day, we're just wasting our time. You see all the guys they're like zombies now.
Yeah, we were tired. Jesus, seriously, we're far away, man.
It was horrible because we were driving for 2 hours in the morning to get to Kampala and 2 hours back in the evening.
It was really exhausting.
If they were hoping for a bit of comfort after a tough day, it's not here.
I had only one word to describe my room. It's a hole.
Where's the other room? Y'all, the room's upstairs.
2-room with 5 beds. Hard mattress. 5 guys stuck all together. Really place.
We here, man.
Mathieu takes a different approach.
As we say, TIA. This is Africa. So you don't complain. Just to be there, I'm happy.
But Mathieu may be playing a different tune before this African gig is over. It's early morning and already Brazzaville, Congo's capital, is buzzing. Time for the Pyro team to battle back to the firing site in Kinkala after only 5 hours of sleep.
Let's go.
Kinkala was 70 kilometers away from Brazzaville. It was at least an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, same at night. And the funny thing is that our driver, which was the son of the Minister of Defense, had only one CD in his car and he loved it. So we listen to the same freaking song every day.
Yes.
Radio, single player.
What?
Turn down.
Turn it down?
Please.
C'est pas sérieux.
Okay, 6 inch. Are you ready?
1,900 shells need to be wired and loaded. What could normally be a whole week's work for trained pyros back in Canada has to be done in 2 days.
It's hard work, and we're working on like this mountainside, and it's not only the heat, it's the dust.
In fact, the deal of the day is to load, you know?
A tough job, and things are about to get even tougher. The client's back. And today, Mr. El-Haj has an even more outrageous demand.
So, Nicky,
Yeah,
you have other show in the state.
Mr. El-Haj wants a second show, and he wants it tonight. The president is opening a new stadium, and suddenly the big guy expects fireworks.
You need some pyrotechnics for there.
Okay.
Okay?
Mr. El-Haj expects them to drop everything to make it happen.
Oh, man.
2 days.
When John asked us to do the extra show, of course it puts us under pressure.
It was an extra task that we didn't need it, but no, Nick could not say no.
Okay, we'll make a plan. Maybe we can take some of the ground boxes.
You have to keep your client happy. So Jean won again.
Suddenly we've got to pull guys away, send them to a stadium.
Okay, let's load boxes on that bucket quickly.
Myself and Jared went. Left the other 3 prepping bombs.
We need cable, we need tape, we need a module.
Nick and Jared will ride shotgun to the stadium
Going there. You own this box? Someone's gonna pick us
on
up.
top of a truckload of explosives.
Nick, will I see you again?
Oh, Papa.
Don't disappoint me, eh?
The streets are jammed with people coming for tonight's stadium opening.
We're going to the bottom end of the stadium where we're going to shoot the ground boxes from.
Nick's whole game plan has been smoked. He's dropped everything to do this.
You see this big screen behind me? That's kind of the center of the stadium. So we're going to be positioned kind of in the middle behind that.
His strategy: deploy ready-to-go pre-wired ground boxes, also known as cakes. But these imports are straight off the boat. Nick has never even fired one.
To be honest, these boxes we haven't seen before, because obviously this whole container came straight from China. We have a healthy sense of nervousness.
Is the stuff going to reach the height it's supposed to? Is it going to look proper? Or are we going to look like morons?
Okay, calmly, let's do this. Jared, so this will be the middle one, eh? Next one. Go next page. Bomb setting.
Yeah.
It is complicated. Once you've worked out how it works and how it thinks, then it gets better. Yeah, Jared's one of our new guys. He's a bit clumsy with his fingers and stuff, but he'll get into it. We'll beat him into shape.
The race to set up at the stadium takes them right up to showtime.
You know what's nice is those lanterns are showing us the direction of the wind.
Yep.
Then the big man arrives. Congo's president, s02e02, with his entourage.
Oui, Yvan. Hello.
Jean El-Haj gets word the man he needs to impress is ready.
There is many ministers and many presidents here. And they will enjoy our show. I hope so.
They will. They will. 100%.
After a day trying to make some headway at the main site, the Canadian Pyros roll in.
Nick was along with Jared, who's a really green guy. If there was some troubleshoot to do, we would be there to help him.
Testing lines.
They've been trying to find out who's supposed to signal them to fire.
I think it's the guy up there, right?
Yeah.
The person at the corner of the bleachers is the queue. Deep breath. 10 minutes now.
But are they even watching the right guy?
Oh. Go.
It's the first time Nick and Philippe have seen these Chinese ground boxes fire.
Oh, it's nice, eh?
This is ready, man.
There's only one opinion that really counts.
Good, man. Nice, very nice, very nice.
They've somehow pulled off the last-minute show. But now tomorrow, they'll have to cram 2 days of work into one on the main job. Time for a little rest.
We just arrived now. I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed. Because tomorrow is the day.
I'm bragging.
A big day tomorrow. 13, 14-hour day.
Oh, the beds were, what's the toy called? Slinky. The beds were slinkies. You feel the springs in your back.
It's horrible, man.
Yes.
They'll need some rest because tomorrow, they're really going to feel the heat. Independence Day in the Congo. The president liked last night's unscheduled show. But tonight, the big man will be at his compound watching the main event. And it's gotta blow him away.
Hurry up, man! I'm trying to plug in the board.
1,900 bombs to connect. And Nick is getting antsy.
On taquine ceux qu'on aime.
The beautiful module's getting hot. I don't stand you all day. It's like 100 degrees. Because I'm here waiting for you, Oaks. Let's try it. Pick it up. Just get it done.
And then, the client rolls in. Mr. El Haj, with yet another outrageous demand.
It's 8 inch, man. Nice. And it's so expensive. They can buy airplane also.
If you have time, we'll...
He's airlifted in a dozen big steel mortar tubes,
We don't need it.
forcing Nick to load and fire even more of the biggest shells.
The closer we get to showtime, the more nervous he gets.
If you have time, we'll put them in. We have some spare bombs.
A week before he's cool, calm, and collected, the day before show day, he's like a raving lunatic.
I would put some more.
The show's gonna be big, man.
I know that's it's gonna be a nice show.
Don't worry, the president's gonna be happy.
But Jean is worried because the president's compound is across the valley. It's not an up-close view.
We are far away from him. Please, be always crazy.
Okay. He wants us to do a good show because it's, you know, his head's on the plate kind of thing. You know, he promises his client, which is government, a really big show, so he relies on us to deliver, so there's a bit of pressure.
To satisfy Jean, Nick and Philippe have come up with a radical solution.
How the bombers going, man? How those titanium bad boys? Cool.
We added a little surprise for Jean. We did a proper show, going to a proper finale, so Jean would think this is the end of the show.
Then we wait. People think, geez, there was a show that was amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And start again for amazing, huge. We add another 304-inch titanium salutes.
Salute shells are the loudest firework effect of all. Most shells use black powder and long-burning stars or other effects as filler. But salutes are filled with flash powder, a powerful composite specifically designed for pyro.
We've had 4-inch salutes before, but in smaller numbers. I think probably 40 or 50 has been our number previously.
All this row and all the row behind, 4-inch salute.
Having that many 4-inch salutes, that show was a first.
Man, that's gonna be f***ing amazing, seriously. Okay, boom. It's gonna be loud. I don't want to be too close to this thing when it goes. If one goes on the ground, it makes a chain reaction on the ground. That's gonna be ugly.
The show keeps getting bigger. And more fire in the sky ups the risk of fire on the ground.
It's dry season in Congo right now. It's just like it is in South Africa. We have dry grass everywhere.
I think the last time it rained, it was more than a month or 2 months before.
Nick, fire right there.
Across the road, several grass fires have flared up. A pyro site full of explosives and a raging brush fire are a bad combo.
It's called a bomb for a reason. It's going to go bang, so try not make it go bang prematurely.
Is your concern?
No, man, I think it's okay.
I've seen hundreds and hundreds of grass fires in Congo. Someone will be driving past and throw a cigarette butt on the side, and that's a grass fire.
Be good to keep an eye on it, though.
This time, the blaze dies out on its own.
Cool.
Grass fires can wipe out whole villages. But today, people are thinking more about the show.
C'est une première fois que nous allons voir le feu d'artifice. C'est étonnant. Nous serons étonnés.
The people of Kinkala may not know what's coming, but then again, neither do the Pyros.
It went from all smooth to all chaos.
Six hours and counting until the big fireworks blast for Congo's Independence Day.
Guys, try work neatly, yeah? It's a bit of a dog's breakfast here.
Nick Mitri and the Pyros have to pull off a show big enough to bowl over the president, who will be watching tonight from across the valley, without torching the whole district.
Just gotta make sure there's no wire over tubes and stuff. This line goes, these 4 lines afterwards are gonna be
Checking for continuity with my little multimeter. If it beeps, we know it's gonna fire. There. Cool. Then we're good to go.
Cool.
There's still one big obstacle to their show tonight.
Bonjour, Jean, how you doing? We still need the truck, please, for the fireworks. I need to go back to Brazzaville.
They've got to get all of Nick's leftover pyro out of the line of fire. There's a year's worth of shells sitting beside the live mortar field.
I've been asking for 2 days for a truck to get rid of this stuff. Obviously, we can't shoot the fireworks with all this live material sitting right here. I mean, this stuff's 2 meters from our closest 8-inch gun. And this whole place will just explode.
If we started shooting the show and all that powder sitting there, that all would have gone up. It would have been a disaster. There would have been no mountainside left.
Thank you, Jean. Bye. Cool, he's coming in. He's going to send a truck.
Nick needs this type of military transport truck to get his leftover pyro to a safe lockup. Instead, he gets this.
Is this to take the material?
Where? Yes.
Truck's a bit smaller than the amount of boxes. This whole project's going to take some time.
That's gonna take forever, man.
I know, so we don't want to wait till like 7:30. I mean, this is a frigging nightmare, man.
It gets worse. The soldiers refuse to help
We
load.
have to put some military there.
I don't think they want to work because they haven't been paid. One of the military, just since we arrived this morning, just complaining about not being paid.
I don't give a I'll be honest with you. He doesn't work for me. He works for the army. He must go speak to his boss.
It's really uncomfortable when some military is playing with their AKs in front of you and telling you that you're not gonna fire if you don't pay them.
Because if they're sitting here, there's no show. We can't not have a show. President and all his mates are expecting a show. It's got to be a show. Is the driver the dude with the white shirt? Zane, you're a fast runner. Do you want to go get our driver?
Let's do it, let's go. Hey guys, let's go train. Yes.
How many ground boxes were in the van?
I already one.
We ended up moving all the explosive with a little pickup truck, which was really dodgy.
What a joke. 2 hours before the show.
Okay, we're full.
There's no time to move the extra pyro to a proper lockup. They just need to find a safe place to stash it for now.
Okay, stop. Hey, bon.
But there is no safe place.
Man, this is ridiculous. Let me see what's this building.
Look, if your ass catch on fire, it's not better.
Out in the fields, no good.
Nick,
Yeah.
It can't be in the grass, man.
No, on the road.
Yeah.
It's dry season. If something happens, the grass can burn and maybe cause a huge explosion.
This is totally fucked up. This is a joke.
Well, in fact, Nick, you should say, you bring a truck or I don't shoot you. Or somebody...
You haven't been to Congo before. They want fireworks. I'm not going to jail because we don't shoot a show. Forget about it.
It was the best we could do in the situation, you know? The worst thing you can do is not fire a show.
4 more loads to go.
We're shooting in an hour and a half, and well, we don't have an option. We've got to shoot the show. There's no, it's not negotiable. So we've got to get the material away from the site.
Welcome to Congo.
It's showtime. Just 30 minutes before Congo's biggest fireworks of the year.
Okay, that's it.
We go now.
Ridiculous. Can we pull more? Yeah.
Tonight, Nick's left his mountain of pyro on a road under the heavy security of a thin plastic tarp.
It was ridiculous. It was actually stupid, but...
More than 100 boxes of bombs sitting in a f***ing road. It's f***ing stupid, man.
Back to the firing station where the client, Jean El Haj, watches for the president.
President and all these people have just gone past. Oh, there we go. This is the moment. Got a battery pack?
Yeah.
10 seconds.
They'll get the audience's attention
5 seconds left.
with one of the ear-splitting 4-inch salute shells.
Drop.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Like there's 300 of those at the end.
Okay, Zane, we're 10 seconds away. Are you armed?
Yes.
Go. Go.
Hey, ça claque dans le nez, Nicky!
That's what I'm talking about.
The Chinese pyro is going up beautifully. But coming down is a different story. Burning debris is raining down on tinder dry grass.
I just took a piece of cardboard and I started killing some fire with my brother. That's when everything went wrong.
If this gets out of control, Kinkala and the president's compound could be engulfed.
It went from all smooth to all chaos.
When the grass catches on fire, all the snakes and the critters need to get away from the burning grass, so they go in every direction.
Holy! Okay, watch out, watch out. Oh. I'm gonna have you now. I'm not gonna die tonight.
And one of the locals, we saw him running down and actually jumping into the safety of his van and people running around in the burning grass. Maybe he knows something we don't.
We thought in some point we could control it. Big fail.
They're fighting their own pyro.
Look there, look there, look there.
And the Pyro is fighting back. The Pyros are locked in a battle with a monster of their own making.
Look there, look there, look there.
Burning embers from their fireworks show in the Congo rain down around the launch site.
The thing was firing, and everything was firing. Another 10 fire would appear.
Hey, il est venu partout, man.
They can't keep up.
We didn't have any fire extinguishers. We had cardboard boxes and branches from trees.
Yeah, watch out, watch out.
Whenever I stuck my head up, I just saw guys all over the place beating bushes. It was like a movie. It's like some kind of war movie. It's like Armageddon, flames and stuff. Zane's like hitting the button, his eyes are big, must have stopped.
Okay, keep on firing.
And John, he doesn't care about the fires, he's watching the shells.
Nick gambles everything to keep his client happy.
Start firing faster because the client was saying faster, faster.
Watch out, no break, no break.
And in fact, it was getting out of control.
Bombs exploding at not even 10 meters from the ground.
John always stands right next to me. And he was gone. He disappeared. I mean, he was like hiding under the table. And he admitted to me afterwards, he said, this is the first time I've actually been scared. It was amazing.
Jean's fireworks show has turned into a monster.
The front fires. It's after the show, man. It's finished. Almost.
We create a false finale to make a little surprise to Jean, to the client.
But the Pyros aren't done yet. Nick and Philippe unleash 300 titanium salutes simultaneously.
The show finished, and I just said, Nicky, you're crazy. And he loves it. He says, next time you must do this again.
There's no time to celebrate. Hundreds of small fires are erupting into one massive wildfire, a stone's throw from the village.
Comley, can you get
Fires everywhere, man.
like a tree branch or something?
No, 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 no.
It was too big. It was major bushfire.
Big and high and uncontrollable.
I've seen small fires, but this is too much.
We had a bunch of grass fires all over the place, kind of everywhere. And myself and the boys grabbed some branches off trees. What made it difficult is that you can't have a full team attack the one fire. You've got to send one guy there, one guy there, one guy there.
It was hell. It was unbelievable.
Nick, this is useless, dude.
Finally, a welcome surprise. The military ends their strike to fight the fires.
The military, we actually joined forces.
The soldiers, they just dropped their guns, ran to the closest tree, pulled the branch off, and that they were beating fires.
The local fire department finally arrives to help.
At least an hour it took to control all the fires. It was a real relief.
The Pyros avoided disaster and pulled off an impressive show.
Man, that was powerful, eh?
Powerful, the material was really strong.
It's a double win in the Congo, a place where victory doesn't come easy. Next time, the Pyros light up a famous German garden.
Come on, man.
The head gardener hates the pyros.
And the boys fire things up under a Mexican volcano.
Look at it erupt.
But things get out of hand.
Everybody clear! Whoa!